What's up, guys? Welcome to the Jared Williams Show. Today, we're going to talk about 5 stupid, simple tactics that exploded my business. I'm actually really excited about this one. What's up, Eddie?
Hey, man, not a whole lot.
You're back again.
I'm back again.
Back in...
Glad to be here.
Back in black.
Absolutely, all the time.
All the time, every day. Nice hat, by the way.
Hey, thanks.
I really like that. It's pretty
good
cool.
hat. Yeah.
These actually are pretty good hats.
Yeah.
These are from Zapped Headwear, the Osprey. I actually dig these a lot, especially for down here in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to talk about some cool stuff. I wrote this a while ago. I was looking back through my notes here. There's some fun ones in here. Some of these tactics are legitimately some of my favorite things to talk about.
Yeah.
So actually some of my favorite concepts even to just think about. So I'm pretty excited. Before we get into it, I want to talk about our awesome sponsor up there, PlumbLine, answers.org. They're not only cool people, but they're a cool business. And if you guys aren't using PlumbLine to answer like your overflow calls, which means like if your CSR is busy and she's missing calls, that's your marketing dollars just getting flushed down the toilet. And then after you leave or your CSR leaves for the day and you're not answering those calls, that's your marketing dollars getting flushed down the toilet. Or if you're a one-man show and you're busy out doing work and you can't pick up your phone or you don't want to pick up your phone because you're with a customer, marketing dollars getting flushed down the toilet. Don't call those people back. They're probably already found a plumber. Makes you look unprofessional. Instead, just hire PlumbLine. It's that simple. They know how to answer phones. They owned a plumbing business. They've been on this podcast, very successful at it. They actually developed the product because they couldn't find a 24-hour answering service. And so they made one that was actually good. We've used them in our business. They're badass. Plus, if you tell them that you heard about them from this podcast, the Jared Williams Show or the Wealthy Plumber, they will give you 1 week of free calls so you can try them out, see how awesome they are, see how much money they actually make you, and go from there. Go to PlumbLineAnswers.org. You won't be disappointed, trust me. They're pretty rad. I think you can agree.
I would agree. Yeah, they do great work. And they're super easy to work with.
You know, we woke up this morning with calls on our boards because of PlumbLine.
Yep.
Answered them last night. Super dope. All right, so this is good. 5 stupid,
stuff.
simple things, okay? I'm just looking at my notes. Most businesses, they think they need more customers to make money, and that could be very well true. But a lot of the businesses I talk about, they don't necessarily need more customers. They need to make more money with the customers they already have. It's a huge problem. Like they're focused on like leads, phone calls, but then they walk out their customer's door with a couple $100.
Yeah.
Or really small average tickets. And it's not that you like have to go in there and like steal or lie and cheat or anything for your customer. You literally just need to go in there and do a better job. And they will pay you more money to do more work. You'll gain efficiency and you'll make more money.
Better relationship with that customer.
Yeah, it's less about revenue and how many jobs you run and more about how much you get to keep at the end of the day. More about profit. Yeah? Okay. The problem with the more leads mindset is that most owners think that more calls equals more money. That's not necessarily true. If your prices are wrong or you have no upsell strategy or you don't really have like a process that you follow in the home, more calls is just going to turn into more chaos and more unprofitability. Okay, cool. So let's go through these 5 things. Number 1 is pricing correctly. This is probably one of the most like misunderstood topics. Very easy in theory, difficult in practice.
Yeah.
Like we had it pretty dialed in at Prospector, and then we came down here and we started Dude Wash, and I feel like we're getting it dialed in. But it's like there's other variables than just, hey, let's just figure out what our expenses are and shoot from the hip and see what happens.
A lot of places don't even do that. They find out what the other guy charges or what the
Yeah,
competitors charge, and they land somewhere in the middle, and then they tailor the rest of the business to try and make that work.
that's exactly what I did.
Yeah. Yeah.
I did. I remember I called a bunch of the companies. I don't remember the name. Some of those companies are still in business. Like I called Craft Heating. I called Cowles. I called Rockies,
Mm-hmm.
and then I called Altral. And I remember like Craft was like 110, Cowles was like 115, Rockies was like 155 for the first hour, and then 130 for every hour after that. Which is that's a really funny price. They're like, I'm gonna make for you to call me and get me out to your house. I'm gonna make it as expensive as I can for that first little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Seems backwards
Yeah.
of what you really would want to do, but it's all right. And then I called Altral, and Altral was like, "Oh, it was a super nice lady answered the phone. She's actually a good CSR. She's like, "Oh, honey, we don't charge by the hour. We charge by the outcome."
Mm-hmm.
I was like, "Oh, what do you mean?" She's like, "Well, we'll come out to your house and we'll assess the situation and we'll give you some proposals and we'll let you know exactly what work needs to be done and we'll let you know upfront how much that's going to cost."
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, "Okay, so let's say I think I asked her for a boiler. Let's say I got a 3-section cast iron Burnham.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people listening to this won't know what that is. It's a oil fired boiler, hydronic boiler.
Mm-hmm.
And at the time, dude, I remember I was sitting in a crawl space with Jason Pasillas,
Uh-huh.
and we were thinking about starting our own business. And so I was calling around. I hope my old bosses listen to this because he paid me to do that. And I like at the time we would go. I asked him like, if you just got to cut it out and put a new boiler in, how much is it? And at the time, I would have done that for like $2,500.
Okay.
And they said $8,000. And I was like, holy crap.
Mm-hmm.
No way. And later on in our company, we did that for like, I don't know, $14,000 probably would be my guess. But I was like, holy cow. And I remember that I would go charge. I started charging like $6,000 to do boiler swaps, like just simple cut out and put in. And I was like, this is the coolest thing ever.
Mm-hmm.
I'm making tons of money. Turns out it wasn't even enough money then.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I did. I called. We started
Add all those up together and divide by 5, and that's how much you charge per hour.
So what's funny is I did the classic, like, okay, the cheapest one was 115, so I'm going to start at 100. Literally thinking that I'm going to get all the work.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I've heard that so many times on these, like everywhere now. And
That's a strategy.
Well, it's a mistake is what it was, what it is. And it was definitely a mistake that I made, hands down. And then we hooked up with this electrician, and he was charging $90 an hour. And so then it made me feel like maybe $100 an hour is too much. And so then I was scared to charge anymore. And it's crazy. It's so funny, like the way that you, like with the upbringing that I had, where, and yours is the same. I know your backstory, but, you know, my dad fixed everything.
Yep.
We didn't have money. We did have money to pay people to do stuff, but that's not how my dad rolls.
Mm-hmm.
He's a smart guy. He can learn new things. He's pretty handy. He can fix most things. And so we didn't pay people to do stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, and at the time, I was making like $41 an hour. And so to go charge $100 an hour was like
2.5 times what I make right now.
Yeah, who's going to pay that? That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't understand, like, oh, there's a business to run on the back end of this thing.
Right.
Yeah. Anyway, did a bunch of side jobs. Started doing side jobs at $100 an hour, and that's kind of how we got started. And then we slowly had to creep up to 120, 130. And then I creeped up to 140. And then even at 140, I would be working my butt off, and at the end of the year, there'd be 60 G's that I, profit for the company. and I didn't pay myself.
Mm-hmm.
Stupid. Anyway, pricing correctly, there's kind of a couple different ways to price. We've talked about them a lot on this podcast. And it's kind of, in my mind, it's different when you're just starting out. And then as you progress, you should change to a more advanced style of pricing.
Mm-hmm.
When you're starting out, it's pretty simple. Like, just add up all the expenses to be a 3-man shop. If you go to wealthyplumber.com, you can go, if you're on your phone, click the three little hamburger thing, click hourly rate calculator. It'll literally ask you to make a copy. Click copy. You'll get our hourly rate calculator for free. And there's tabs on the bottom when you guys open that up. One of the tabs says expenses. If you click on that tab and just fill out all the expenses, a bunch of them are already preset. Like, if you don't know, you can just leave them there. It'll tell you what you need to be charging. And so figure out all your expenses. If you got 3 trucks out on the road, the owner should be able to get paid.
Yeah.
And the plumber should be able to get paid.
Mm-hmm.
And the shop rent should be able to get paid. And the vehicle payments, and the vehicle insurance, and the insurance for the guys, and the 401k for the guys, and the gas for the vehicles, and the tools you're going to break and replace throughout the year, and the freaking camera, the $20,000 cameras you're going to have to buy.
Yeah.
And all that stuff should be factored in and then boiled down to how much it costs you per hour to run. And then you should figure out how much of the time that your guys are working, how much of it are you actually going to sell to the customer?
Mm-hmm.
For most businesses, it's like 50 to 55%. We set our calculator at 55% for plumbers just starting out.
Yeah.
So they go and they figure they're going to sell 55% of their time. So out of the 2,000 hours, 3 guys, that's 6,000 hours total, and you're going to sell 3,000 of that. So now you have to charge basically double. Let's say it costs you $200 an hour in expenses to get your plumbers out to somebody's house. Well, they're only going to sell half their time, so now you got to charge $400.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got to put profit on top of that. That's like the $400 is to break even. Now you got to put profit on that. Most guys, when they fill out that calculator, it's like a 3-man shop costs around $1 million a year to operate. By the time you pay all the expenses, have a marketing budget, all that good stuff. And then add $1 million, I think you end up being like $400 to $450 an hour to hit 20% net at the end of the day.
And then comes the doubt. Well, I can't charge that much.
Yeah. In comes the extreme doubt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, totally. It's super weird too. What's funny is like places like California, New York, even some places in Florida, like the more expensive places in Florida, like when you get down to like Miami, it gets a little more expensive, that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Those rates, like there's guys in those markets charging $700, $800, $900 an hour. Like the big guys are charging that. And it's funny because like we'll get guys from like rural markets. They're like, there's no way I can charge that.
I could never.
There's no way. Those ones I can relate to because back in Fairbanks, it was like the most expensive plumber. They were probably like Ultra, I think at the time was like $220 an hour or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I came in the market and we were at $425.
Mm-hmm.
And then we just took over the market. But that, like mentally, that was a hard, like mental hurdle to get over.
100%. When my first day working with you, we got all the guys out on the road and we started going over so we had to start somewhere. So we started talking about the hourly rate and the price book and all of this stuff. And I said, dude, I don't understand how you can sell at that, because I was the same way in that I got paid, like the most I ever got paid was $55 an hour in the field.
Yep.
How in the hell am I going to charge a customer 10 times that or 9 times that in order to go do that work.
Yep. And you're thinking like, okay, so if a zone valve went out at my house, that's $100 or $55 zone valve, and it's going to take me like 20 minutes to change out.
Mm-hmm.
And here Jared is charging 2 hours. I mean, I guess it makes sense because we got to bill the customer and drive to their house. And so there's $850 in labor, and then he's charging another $110 for that zone valve. So now this thing is, it's almost $1,000 to change out a zone valve that I could spend $55 in and do in 15 minutes.
Yep.
That's what you're thinking in your head.
Absolutely.
But the reality is, like, it costs a lot of money to go out there. And, well, if it's $1,000 to replace a zone valve, the business only gets to keep $200 of that. So it costs the business $800 to go replace that zone valve.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I guess a little bit of context, that was on Monday, and the Friday before I was a tech in the field.
Yeah.
And so I had no idea.
Yeah.
So that was a bit of shock on my end, seeing all that.
What's funny is most business owners have no idea how much it actually costs them to go do something. Mm-hmm. They have no clue. They're just guessing.
They were techs in the field.
Yeah.
Just before filling out that form, probably operating as if they were a tech in the field.
Yep.
And then they fill that out and they say, oh, crap, I can't charge this.
Yeah. And it's just a math problem.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's simple math.
Mm-hmm.
We got to turn the timer on.
Oh, we better do that now.
I don't even know how long we've been talking. This might be a long one. It's funny because you talk to most business owners and they're like, I ask them how they're how they're pricing now, and they're like, well, I just kind of like know how much stuff costs, And what's funny is a lot of them will be charging like $120 an hour, but then when it comes to a water heater, they're like, oh, well, I know there's people in my market getting $4,000 for a water heater, so we charge $3,500.
They revert back to the same thing of what the competitors charge. Now I'll charge similarly.
Mm-hmm. And you literally just shouldn't do that. You should like actually figure out what it costs you to put that plumber in that house for 1 hour and sell 1 hour of his time.
Yep.
And then mark up your materials 100%.
Mm-hmm.
And people think I'm like absolutely crazy for marking up materials 100%.
How did that, like we had that conversation not long ago with some people in school. Yeah. It's like a mass text or email or handwritten letter went out that said, all right, everybody, buy your materials, multiply that by 1.7 and sell it for that. That's what we did way back when I first started in the trade with the first contractor I ever worked for. The markup on all of those parts was 70%. That price times 1.7.
Yep.
And then that's what the customer pays for it. It seems like that's a nationwide standard or belief.
The 1.7?
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
It's weird.
But I know that if you don't mark them up 100%, you're leaving money on the table.
For sure.
So and I think it's just that they don't understand that 100% markup is only 50% profit. Like if I had this phone, I went and bought it, cost me $100. And then you bought it for me for $200. I get $200 in income, but I had $100 in expenses, which puts me at $100 net profit. So it's not 100% profit. It's 50% of the money I brought in is profit. And so when you do a 70%, I'm going to have to look it up. 70%, I got to learn how to type first. 70. Yeah, I do got to learn how to type. I do most stuff on my computer.
Yeah.
Do you?
Now, yeah. I'll open my computer to respond to text messages now.
Yeah. That's
way easier.
Yeah, I love it. My son thinks I'm crazy. Costin. 70% markup is what margin? It's only 41.2% margin. So that means you're making off of your materials 41.2% margin. when you look at a plumbing business P&L, this gets too complicated. Like, the reality is if you use the calculator that's on our course, what happens is you take all your expenses, you boil them into an hour. So all of your expenses, like all of your overhead costs, should be covered in your labor rate, which means you need to have at least 30% net left over on your materials. So, and that's if you're 100% efficient on materials. You need 30% net because like what we teach is to start a membership, and we'll talk about that. But then you can discount your members 10% and still have a 20% net left over at the end of the day, right? Okay. If you're at 41.2, most people lose 20% just in inefficiency right off the top, if not more. So now they're down to 20, and then they're going to discount their members 10%. They're going to be at 10% net on their materials. And you're trying to hit 20. So you're only collecting half the net percentage that you need to hit on your materials. So you have to mark them up 100%.
Yeah.
End of story.
Yep.
It's just how it goes. You're never going to hit 100% efficiency on service.
Nope.
Especially not once you get like 10 guys running around.
Yeah.
It's just not going to happen. So that's the first way to price. And then when you get a little more advanced and you get some guys, you could just start basing everything off of margin. I don't even know where to start on that one.
Yeah.
But if you look at your P&L, you have like total revenue at the top, and then you subtract out your cost, your direct cost. So in our business, it's labor and it's materials. And what we're left over with is called gross profit. And you should have a percentage for your business that you need left over to cover overhead costs and still have 20% net. Typically in a plumbing business, it's like 55%. Early on, when you have like 2, 3, 4 guys, it might be as high as like 70%. And so what you do is you take your labor costs and you mark it up to hit a 70% margin. You take your material costs, you mark them up to hit a 70% margin. You add the two together, and that's your price. Simpler, more confusing for like the beginner guy to learn how to price. Simpler model of profit or pricing. And then it actually like helps even out your profits throughout the year, especially for like HVAC guys, because they've got a lot of equipment costs.
Yeah.
And if they're not hitting their gross margin on their equipment, they're going to have a hard time selling enough labor to cover all of their overhead. Yeah. You end up robbing Peter to pay Paul.
Yeah.
Like you end up having inflated labor rates and too low of a material markup. And you can actually lower your labor rates, increase your material markup, and be much better off.
Yeah. Easier to diagnose problems too when it's accurate.
Yes. Agreed. And then it makes like commission easier because you can base everything just off revenue. You don't have to subtract out materials. Makes life just like so much easier.
Yeah.
Then you can just incentivize everybody to drive revenue. And it doesn't matter if they sell materials or sell labor. We're driving revenue at margin. We're good to go. Much better way, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You cannot get that calculator free on our website because it's confusing. But if you want it, you can go to wealthyplumber.com and you can click the button to join our school program. And in our school program, we have like a bunch more resources, marketing resources, ROI, spreadsheets, margin calculators, a whole bunch of stuff. Super cool for $99. Literally, it's dumb how cheap it is.
Yeah.
Stupid. So knowing your price, and then like for those guys that go out there, once they do that calculation, how do they like the prices were high. Now what? Like we can't just go out and just be like, hey,
pay me a lot of money, more than you'd pay the next guy.
I'm gonna show up in my junky Chevy pickup truck and my 30-year-old Vans t-shirt and my dingy beard, and I'm going to charge you $500 an hour. Is that going to work?
It's not going to work. You're going to be sorely disappointed. You're going to think getting your pricing correct is like step one. So now I go out there and I'm going to start making money.
Yep.
you're going to be sorely disappointed. You got to have other things in place as well.
Yeah. You need to present yourself halfway decent.
Mm-hmm.
And then go out there and produce more value for the customer.
A lot of people object to that because I'm a technician or I'm a construction worker or I'm a whatever, blue collar. I don't got to look. People expect me to look. I hear it all the time. So many people said, well, they don't want me to show up clean because then they're going to think that maybe I don't work.
Yeah.
False. They want you to show. They don't want you to bring someone else's filth into their house. I can promise you that. So you need to show up as clean as like reasonably expected.
When you show up messy and looking like a mess, the customer doesn't trust you.
Correct.
When I first moved down to Florida, I had my backyard was a mess, and I wanted to put in, what are those?
Pavers.
Pavers. They're not pavers. It's called hardscape.
Okay.
That's how they get away with charging you a bunch of money for it. They take pavers and call it hardscape.
Gotcha.
So I wanted this like hardscape patio with a fire pit.
Mm-hmm.
And so we go to I tried looking up like patio contractor, paver contractor. Like I couldn't find anything on the internet. And then there was like, I knew where they sold the pavers because I could see like pallets of pavers.
That brickyard in the middle of town?
Something like that.
Yeah.
So Christelle stopped in there, my wife, and got like 6 different business cards from those people. Like, hey, who installs these?
Mm-hmm.
They said, oh, here's 6 cards. I called through all those cards. One person answered their phone. And I was like, this is like plumbing. Like these guys suck at answering their phones. They just lost out on a lot of work. Dude, this guy shows up in a white truck. It's beat up. It's rusty. It's got dents in it. He's got like jeans and a white shirt on, and he's dirty, and he's got long hair, and it's like poofed out.
Mm-hmm.
And I know construction workers. I was a construction worker. I can relate to the dude.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm thinking like, is this guy even legit?
Right.
Is he gonna take my money and run?
Mm-hmm.
Like, is he even gonna give me an honest price?
Mm-hmm.
And so we go back in the back to measure the patio, and he's taking measurements, and he's got a piece of paper, like folded up, and he's got a Sharpie, and he's writing some stuff down, pulls out his phone and does some math, flips the paper over, and then writes a price. It's like $12,000.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, so we can get a patio in, we'll do pavers, and we'll do your fire pit here. It'll be $12,000. And I'm thinking, how do I know that this guy's giving me the legitimate price? I have no idea what these pavers cost.
You can't compare it to anything now.
I have no clue. And so I ask him, what's the process? He goes, so I would get half down. I'll order the material. Once it's delivered, we'll come put it in. And I'm thinking, okay, so I'm going to give you $6,000. I don't know who you are. You have 0 branding on your truck. You don't look legitimate at all.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to disappear with my $6,000. I said, who do I make the check out to? And he goes, oh, just put it in my name. Again.
Even worse.
I'm like, okay, so this guy doesn't even have a business.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't even have a business account.
Mm-hmm.
However, I went ahead and gave him my $6,000 because he was the only one who answered his phone.
And you got a nice back patio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, props to him for answering his phone. And I mean, one more reason to hire PlumbLine. If that guy would have PlumbLine and that booked the call, there's $12,000.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what I'm thinking as a consumer who understands the guy who I used to go to jobs dirty and say, yeah, but they don't want me to show up clean. Then I look like I don't know how to do anything. Blah, 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 blah. However, if a guy would have showed up to my home with a wrap truck and he would have walked back there and taken measurements and popped some numbers in on his iPad, and he was wearing a company shirt, and he took half down with a credit card on an iPad that was branded with his logos on it, I would have felt so much better about the process.
I at least know where I can go to raise a concern if I have one.
And if that company would have said $16,000, I would have been, damn, that's expensive. But you answered your phone, you look legit, you got a nice truck.
Mm-hmm.
Like my confidence that contractor is going to come out there, they're going to do what they say they did, and they're going to put the patio in, and it's going to be installed properly, and I'm not going to have any issues with it, would have been worth the $16K.
Yeah.
I would have paid it in a heartbeat,
Mm-hmm.
which is crazy. And so all it takes is answering the phone, number one, but then like putting a polo on and some clean jeans, and then getting a halfway decent logo, wrapping your truck, getting a halfway decent truck or van, and if you're a plumber, and then getting an iPad and some software. It's not that hard.
Right.
And it builds a ton of trust in the customer.
Mm-hmm.
Tons of trust.
Yep.
Yeah. And contractors just don't get it.
Yeah.
Most of them don't get it. They can make a ton more money if they just looked cooler. Okay. Pricing. You got to be priced right.
Yes.
And then you got to ask for more value.
Mm-hmm.
Upsells and options. This is an important one.
Mm-hmm.
If you go to somebody's house, what do you think the minimum average ticket is?
What it is for...
What do you think it should be? Let's clarify average ticket first.
Okay.
What do you think average ticket is?
Average ticket.
This is a test.
Okay. Average ticket should be the average price of each invoice on every sold job.
Correct. Yep. So out of if you sold 10 jobs and you took all the dollar amounts, added them up, and then divided them by 10, and it was $1,000, your average ticket would be $1,000.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Okay. What do you think the minimum average ticket should be for a plumbing company?
I know what I like to see over at Prospector. And I know, I didn't like to see anything under $1,000. Anything under $1,000 seemed like, man, is this even worth our time to go over there? Especially if we have a bunch of jobs on the schedule.
Yep.
So I didn't want to see anything under 1,000, and I was a bit more comfortable closer to 1,500 or 2,000 made me feel really good.
Yep.
But yeah, at least over 1,000 is what I was comfortable with.
I think 1,000 is doable, but I think it's going to be really hard.
Yeah.
I think 1,500 is better.
Yeah.
That's what I want to see. I would want to see at minimum.
Mm-hmm.
Ours at Prospector, I think, was like 26 or 20. Was it 26 or 29?
Our average ticket?
Yeah.
Yeah, one of those two. I can't remember which one it was, but I know it was weird. Like if I saw a ticket for, like I said, under 1,000, I'm looking at that close because that doesn't seem right. Like, what are we about to give away? Is my thought when I see that.
Yeah,
we're about to do some free work or give something away. Well, what is it?
Yeah, and it's not like we had, things in our price book. It's not like everything in our price book was $1,000 or more.
Right.
Like we had items for 400 or 300. But if you're going to a job and that's all you're selling, then typically something went wrong because we're not there doing our due diligence to sell the customer more.
And it's not because we had the standard of you don't come back home until that ticket's up to $1,500. That's not it.
Yeah.
I've been in thousands and thousands of houses. You've been in thousands of houses. We've seen thousands of boilers, and every single boiler at every single house has at least $1,000 worth of stuff that needs to be done. Yeah. $1,000 worth of neglect or deferred maintenance, if that's what we want to call it. The amount of stuff that gets ignored is always huge. And so when the techs go there and they write a ticket or they write a bunch of estimates and they're all small estimates, I don't believe that it makes me wonder if the technician was looking as close as they should.
I agree. So I think everybody should have some sort of process in place to get in front of more stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so like a lot of companies like checklists, I think I never liked checklists because it was hard. Like I felt like it was awkward for the customer, but it doesn't have to be. You could come up with a script to make it not awkward. What I would do when I was in the field, I would ask questions. Like if I'm at the toilet, I'm asking, "Hey, I'm looking at this toilet. Do you want me to check out your other toilets while I'm here? Free
Mm-hmm.
of charge. If I find something, I'll let you know. If you want to fix it, great. If not, that's fine too. At least
Yeah.
you know it's broken,
Mm-hmm.
or at least you know there might be a concern there. Who's going to say no to that? Nobody.
Yeah.
Now you're in every bathroom, so just ask them. Well, so I'm going to be in every bathroom. You want me to take a look under your sinks and make sure there's no areas of concern?
You're going to run hot water.
Yeah.
Make sure there's hot water.
I'm going to run the hot water. I'm also going to ask them, like, hey, when's the last time you had your water heater flushed?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of plumbers will push back on that. Oh, you don't need to flush your water heater. It's like, dude, the manufacturer literally says you flush it every year.
Mm-hmm.
And so by asking the customer, you know they're going to say no, or I don't know, because nobody knows.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever had a customer say,
I do it.
I did that last week.
Yeah.
Like, it's never happened. They go, oh, never. You say, oh, well, you want me to take a look at that while I'm here? Again, I'll just look. Don't have to buy anything, but I'll at least let you know if I find anything. That's such an easy way to, like, now I'm in all the bathrooms. I'm at
How
the
many
water
times
heater.
have you opened up that drain and nothing came out?
95% of the time.
Yep.
In
So
fact,
it's not like you're selling just a bunch of BS. This is stuff that should have been taken care of.
yeah, totally.
And this is in my...
How many electric water heaters have I changed because the gunk built up to the bottom element?
Yeah, a lot.
And then I went to go replace the element, and there was
It won't come out.
Won't come out, or there's just a bunch of gunk in there. If I put a new one in, it's just going to go bad.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got to go to the customer and be like, look at what I found in your water heater. And they're like, oh my gosh.
Yep.
It's like, yeah, did you know you're supposed to flush this every year? They're like, no.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. So unfortunately, we're going to have to put in a new one.
And if you avoid that, if you're one of those plumbers that doesn't want to do that unless you're specifically asked, you are doing your customers a disservice.
Oh, totally.
They don't have any idea what should be done. They don't have any idea what's possible.
Yep.
And if you are missing out on that, not only are you leaving money on the table, but you're not treating those people very well.
No, not at all.
You need to be looking after this stuff for them.
Dude, it's like if you view the home as a whole, like one complete organism, not just, oh, there's a toilet flapper in there, but the toilet flapper and the toilet and this water supply and the drain and the water heater, that's all one giant system, which it is. And that's how you should explain it to your customers as well. It's a system. If you view it that way, if you go in and you are there to replace a toilet flapper and there's a bunch of other broken stuff, when you leave, that customer is like, man, I just had the plumber here. Why didn't he bring this to my attention?
Yep.
They're definitely going to think that, like, if you're
incompetent.
Or, well, yeah, they're thinking you're incompetent, or they're going to blame you for that next problem.
Oh, absolutely.
That's the worst part.
Yep.
So you're doing yourself a disservice, you're doing the customer a disservice, especially if like you're under the kitchen sink. So you're there for a drain clean and there's leaking angle stops and you don't fix it, or there's, I don't know, any other issue and you don't fix it, all of a sudden that thing is your fault.
Yeah, you wrecked the bottom of my cabinet now.
Yeah, without fail.
Yeah.
You must have touched that and broke it. It's your fault.
Yep.
So it's like I always would use the doctor analogy. Like if you go in for, I don't know, let's say leg surgery. You're getting surgery and you go in, you get your surgery all done, and then like 2 weeks later you're feeling like crap. So you go back in and you get some stuff done and you got like a growth and it's cancerous. And you talk to the same doctor who gave you the leg surgery. And he was like, oh yeah, I noticed that while I was in there, but I didn't want to say anything because you were only paying me to do the leg surgery.
Yep, you only asked me about this.
Yeah, and I didn't want to spook you. And I don't want you to have to spend more money than you're expecting.
Yep.
So I didn't say anything about the cancer.
Bring that up.
Yeah, it's like you'd be pissed. And that's how your customers feel when you're a plumber and you just go there and you're like, oh yeah, let me repair that one little thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
A lot of times that one little thing is a symptom of a bigger problem anyway.
Yes.
Can't tell you how many times I went to commercial customers, got a flushometer diaphragm, and the thing's flushing weird, running too long.
Yep.
And 2 or 3 companies before me have replaced that diaphragm. They said, oh, they always replace this. And it's the PRV back at the water service
Yep.
or something like that.
Yep.
Just because either those guys before were hoping for a quick, easy fix, maybe it was beyond their skill set, or they just didn't want to go digging elsewhere.
Yeah, I've been to one very similar to that where the PRV, it was a big commercial building. It was a big PRV, and it was bad. It wasn't letting enough pressure in, but only when like 2 toilets in the building got flushed at the same time. And so this particular tenant that was having the problem, they were on the 2nd floor, so there was a little pressure drop there, and then they only had 1 toilet. And so they were like baffled at what, like sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And we went down and tested their water pressure, flushed toilets, and watched it just go, just tank.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we're like, huh, interesting.
Slowly come back.
Yeah, we got paid like $6,500 to replace that PRV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When the guys before replaced the diaphragm.
Yep. And then we just took a little bit more time to look at the whole system. Yep.
So companies before you sold how much ever, even if they were priced high, a couple $100 diaphragm.
Yep. And who did the better service?
Yeah, the guys that replaced the PRV.
Hands down. Because now the problem's gone. They don't have to worry about it anymore.
Yep.
And so I think the best way is to go into your customer's home, view it as a system, look at the entire system. Like you're going to go in there and you're not going to, you're going to diagnose the problem, but you need to do that by going and collecting all the data points and going, okay, here's the system. Here's all the things that are wrong with the system. This is what's causing these things that you're experiencing. Let's get those fixed.
Yeah.
It's like the guys who come to your mainline drain and snake it out and don't put a camera down it. Are you kidding me?
That's crazy.
It's insane. And I remember in Alaska, we would get so many drain clean jobs at full price. So I see all these guys doing $99 drain cleans. We would go out and it'd be like $1,200 to clean out your drain. But we're also going to put our sewer camera down there for free, and we're going to give you the footage and show you what's in that drain and why you're having this problem. And so we would do a $1,200 drain clean, run the camera, and then go, hey, look, you're having this problem because you got a belly right here in your pipe, or you got this Fernco coupling is slightly disconnected and it's clogging up. Let's dig it up and fix it.
Yeah.
And the next thing you know, we're digging up their yard and fixing their sewer line and making a ton of money.
And we cleared our schedule to accommodate that, and we got to them right away. And like they're stressed because they got to spend this money, but then with the way that we accommodate them to go ahead and take care of it, they're like they're not happy to spend that kind of money, but they're happy that the problem's gone forever.
Yeah. They're super happy, incredibly happy to have their problem gone because they've paid plumbers to come out there every 6 months and snake their drain for 3 years.
Yep.
Ever since they bought the house.
Yep. This happens every winter, they say.
Yep. And nobody ever said anything.
Yep.
And now they can go through a winter without their stuff clogging up. Yeah. Totally. You can offer, you need to offer options. So, you need to diagnose the whole thing. And a lot of people preach and teach just to offer good, better, best options. I think it's BS. I think it's laziness. I think it's a cop out.
Just super easy.
Yep. Oh, I got a toilet flapper. You get toilet flapper, tank rebuilder, new toilet. What do you want?
Yeah.
I think you're leaving a lot of money on the table if you do that. A lot. And to me, it's lazy. Yes, you can pre-build those, but if that's all my guys did, I'd be like, dude, what about the other toilets in the home?
Yeah.
Dude, did you run the water at the sinks? Did you make sure that their aerators weren't clogged? Did you make sure that the drains? Did you make sure that nothing was leaking underneath? All of that should get done on every single call.
Yeah.
In my opinion. Easier said than done.
Much easier said than done.
That takes, how do you get your guys to do that?
I mean, so they have to have the skill level to be able to recognize that needs looked at, first of all, and then they have to have the desire to go that far.
Yep.
They really got to be on board, and they got to be a team player, and they got to see the benefit of this would be good for me if I find this other stuff. And I think that's a start. This would be good for me personally because I'll get more money on my paycheck. But then I think the level beyond that is the technician who's able to say, yes, this will be good for me because I'll stay busy, but I know this lady doesn't want to have to deal with this. This would be good for her to be able to take care of this.
100%.
And so finding guys that can do that, or training your guys to adopt that new
mindset,
is the ultimate move.
I agree. Yep. I think every business owner should have some sort of commission in place where if your guys drive revenue, they get bigger paychecks. And then a lot of people think that if you put a commission structure in place, it's going to create this culture of selling people things that they don't need. I would get rid of the idea we sell people things they don't need all the time.
Sure.
As consumers, we buy stuff we don't need. I got an iPhone right here. I didn't need that freaking thing, but I wanted it. But so I think when you push somebody to sell something or to buy something that they don't necessarily want, that's when you're definitely in the wrong.
We all have spent money that should have been for needs on once.
Oh, yeah.
Totally. So don't give me this BS of I'm not going to sell them that if they don't need it. We all have taken money from the need pile and diverted it to the want pile and spent that money on things we don't need.
Yeah. I don't need a $1,200 Toto toilet.
Right.
But if I want one, who cares?
My wife likes the look of a skirted toilet. She likes the look of a wall-hung toilet with a wall mount press button, even better.
Does she actually?
Actually, yeah.
That's funny.
And so, like, cleaning a skirted toilet is a whole lot easier than cleaning a traditional toilet.
Yeah.
And if it's a wall-hung toilet with the buttons on the wall, it's even easier to clean all of that. And so, like, if you were the right plumber and you found out talking to the right person and we were looking for a bathroom remodel and you didn't offer something like that as a possibility, you could be missing out huge.
If somebody else came in after you and offered that as a possibility, but it was like $3,000 or $4,000 more, guess who's getting the job?
Absolutely.
Yep. If you were to come to my house and offer my wife anything about water filtration or air purification, she's buying it.
Yep.
Like guaranteed.
Yep.
And if you didn't, you missed out on a lot of revenue.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just because you didn't take the time to get to know what the customer wanted, how they feel about certain things, and make sure to put relevant options in front of that customer.
If you didn't offer that to Christelle, then you lost on a lot of money.
And you missed out on a really happy customer.
Absolutely.
Like she would be stoked because she has no idea that any of that stuff exists.
Yep.
Thankfully. Or we would be buying it right now.
You'd have state-of-the-art filtration.
Yeah, dude, we totally would. We'd have a whole house, this giant maintenance headache.
Yep.
I would hate it with a passion.
You'd have a maintenance contract with that guy that sold it to you.
That'd be the smart thing to do, but yeah. So I think that like the whole idea here is you have to upsell. You have to provide more options for the customer. You have to get those average tickets up, but you need to then you need to incentivize your guys to do that through commission structure and training. And it needs to be from the lens of I'm serving this customer,
providing more value, solving more problems for them.
Yes. Yep. Yeah. 100%. And I think if you train your guys that way, you won't get that I'm going to sell you something you don't want kind of culture. Because I don't think we saw that at Prospector whatsoever.
No.
We had the guys we hired were good dudes and they didn't want to be like that.
Right.
And so we almost had the opposite problem of we had to get them to be willing to sell more stuff to the customer by changing their mindset of like, look, you're actually doing them a disservice and now you're doing them a favor by doing it this way.
Yeah. That one guy was really, really tough to convince Eric.
That one guy was really, really tough. Oh, Eric Markey.
Yeah.
Maybe he listens to this.
Maybe.
I like Eric Markey.
I do too.
Good
but
dude.
it was tough to get him to see from that perspective.
Well, mindset's a hard one. It's hard to change your mind on stuff. Very hard. Hard to see different perspectives.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, number 3. One of my absolute favorite topics, lifetime value and retention, customer retention. So I love this because we're paying a gazillion dollars to get customers nowadays. It's just how it is. Like the days of $50 leads are gone. They're not, they're gone. They're not there anymore.
Yep.
Ain't nobody getting that on pay-per-click. And so the reality is it costs money to get a customer. So now in order to offset that, we have to have return customers. Do you know what lifetime value is?
Yeah.
What is it?
That's the amount of money that a customer spends with you for the entire time they do business with you.
Amen. Okay, so the average homeowner stays in their home for 7 to 10 years. So if you can get to them on year 1 and they can be your customer on average for 7 years, then, and you can sell them an average, let's say your average ticket is $1,500, and they see you once a year, they spend $1,500 on your service. I can't do math in my head. Can you do that?
Like 10.5?
1,500 times 7. Yeah, you're right. 10.5. You're smart. The lifetime value of that customer would be $10,500. This is how you control your marketing budget. Like if you want to spend 10% on marketing, if you have a lifetime value of $10,500, you can now spend $1,050 to get a customer. Where the person who isn't retaining his customers, he can only spend 10% of his one average ticket. So he can only spend $150 to get a customer. That ain't going to happen.
Right.
So you have to get these return customers coming in. So it's the only way it works in today's world.
And you do that by...
So lifetime value, like if you're going to see them 7 times, the more money you get out of each time, the lifetime value is going to go up. That has to do with the last topic we talked about. But then you got to retain this customer so they reuse you. How do we do that?
Why would you ever reuse somebody? You got to probably ought to like them as a person, or at least what you know of them as a person. You got to like the way they do business. You got to trust that the work that they do for you will work and will hold. And if you can't, you have to get value out of that person that did work for you. And if you can't get any of that, then you're still shopping.
Yes, I agree. The value that you get out of it has to exceed the price that you pay.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a hard concept for most people to get.
Right.
And I think it's because they undervalue their service. So
they have a hard time articulating. People have a hard time articulating when value was delivered as well.
Yeah.
Like us showing up in the trucks that we have now, there's value just in the truck that we have.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying you need to walk up and say, "Hey, check out, isn't this truck nice?"
Yeah.
Like, don't deliver value like that. Just showing up in that truck conveys value.
Yeah.
But then you can also, ideally, it would come up organically, but in your conversation with that customer, say, we've got a whole team back at the office or the facility that can help if you have any questions in the future, rather than their previous experience of, I called 6 contractors and nobody answered.
Yeah.
We've got a whole team, warranties taken care of. Don't you worry about this.
Yep.
I mean, you got to recognize like what we offer versus what they offer. And then the differences between those convey the value.
I think it's most plumbers have a hard time seeing it from the customer's point of view.
Sure.
They think that customers only care about the price tag of it. And the reality is that they care about a lot more. You can actually sell things for a much larger price tag if you attach enough value to it.
I can't tell you how many times I paid more.
Oh, yeah.
Because dealing with this person's better than dealing with that person.
Yeah, hands down. Like if it saves me time, like during the interaction, and I know that I'm getting a better quality product, and so it's going to last longer, or it's actually going to fix the root cause of some of the problems I'm having. I will spend gobs of money on that so that it's not a problem anymore. So like I'm the kind of guy that if you look under my bathroom sink right now, I wash in bar soap. and I buy the bar soap in bulk because I don't want to have to order bar soap again.
Yeah.
So I buy like a year's supply of bar soap and I stuff it under my kitchen, my bathroom sink, because I don't have room in my head to think about ordering bar soap more than once a year.
Sure.
And I try to do we do that with a ton of stuff. There's 2 freezers in our garage full of meat and veggies, so that at any point in time we can say we'll pull out meat and veggies for dinner.
Yeah.
And we're done, and we don't have to think about it. We don't have to go to the grocery store and all that stuff. It's the same thing like with the patio. When I hire a guy, if he would have answered his phone, came out quickly, looked professional so I knew he was going to do a good job, and then installed a great product, I would have been tickled to death to pay him a bunch of money because it would have been so much less effort and headache on my end.
You could leave that interaction with the feeling of, I know this is going to be taken care of now, instead of, what the hell else am I going to have to do to keep the momentum on the project?
Yep. So Matt, oh gosh, how come I can't remember their name now? The owners of PlumbLine, Mountaineer Plumbing.
Oh, yeah.
Matt Delnay. He's been on this podcast. If you guys want to watch his episode, you can go back and check him out. But I think the title of it is like Michigan Plumber Makes Millions or something like that. In his company, Mountaineer Plumbing, his tagline had something to do with about peace of mind. And so his thing was always like, we don't sell plumbing, we sell peace of mind. Like, you have the peace of mind that when you call us, you don't have to worry about your plumbing anymore. Like, we're not selling plumbing. It's peace of mind. I always thought that was great. Like,
I told our techs up at Prospector, the only thing we stock in our van is solutions. That's the only thing we have.
Yep.
You show up and customer says, I need this problem solved. It's your lucky day. We've got a whole van full of solutions out there.
That,
and you can solve anything.
Yeah.
And the customer leaves the interaction knowing that it's taken care of until something breaks or whatever.
I like it. So how do we actually retain those customers? Any idea?
How do we retain them?
Yeah.
So it's got to be a good interaction.
It's got to be a good interaction. It's got to be 5-star service. It's got to be, if you guys haven't read the book Raving Fans, go check that out.
Yeah.
That's a good one. But then you can sell them a membership. That's probably the best way. So like we have a app at our plumbing business and our pressure washing business. We do it identical. It's $99 a year. Pressure washing we did or $10 a month. You get Prospector, it was 10% off your service. At Dude Wash, it's 15% off all services. Priority scheduling, we called it VIP priority scheduling to sound cool. Access to member-only promotions.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's a good one. So when your customers ask what that is, it's, when we're running low on calls, what we'll do is we'll push out a promotion to members only for like, hey, get this discount of this, or buy this, get this free, or something, just to keep our guys busy, and then you get a good deal on something.
It doesn't have to be complex, multi-tiered membership. It can just be super simple and easy for the technician to convey the value of it. You don't want this convoluted where they have to pull out a sheet of paper and say, oh, you're not in the platinum tier, you're in the whatever tier.
So now this means you get this, this, and this. And now I'm super confused because I don't remember what's in the other tiers.
Yeah.
And your customer's confused as well because the technician can't explain it because he doesn't understand it.
Right.
Yeah. I think complicated things are a mess. We did do one thing at Prospector that was really good in the beginning, but really stupid long at scale. And I've heard other people talk about why it's stupid. And they are 100% right.
It was a mess to clean up.
But we got it. It was a pain in the butt, dude. So we started we did, and you could do this in plumbing. And it was a tune and clean on the boiler. So every year in Alaska, where our plumbing business was, you got to clean your boiler every year. It's like all full of soot and gunk, and you got to replace the nozzle and fix the electrodes and put a new filter in it, and run a flue gas analysis, vacuum it out, brush it out, run a flue gas analysis, and adjust the air, make sure it's burning properly.
Mm-hmm.
And so people pay lots of money to have that done every year. And so what we did is we did $49 a month, got you that free tune-up is what we called it.
Mm-hmm.
So you join our membership, it's $49 a month, and you get a free tune-up plus all the other benefits I listed on the other one. And it was cool because it actually was really good at retaining customers, and it did build up a pretty good recurring revenue stream. Like at one point, we got over $700,000 a year in recurring revenue every month. And that was cool because like during slow times on the first of every month, I'd get this big chunk of cash coming in, which was pretty nice.
Mm-hmm.
I would have got that same injection of cash had we charged $99 a year and sold them throughout the year.
Mm-hmm.
But what becomes a pain in the butt, like that's actually a service agreement, not a membership. And what becomes a pain in the butt is having to fulfill on those tune and cleans that are free, that you've already got, that actually you're not going to get paid for.
Yep.
Because you're getting paid over the next 12 months. And then the accounts receivable that creates of the monthly payments on work that you've already done. Like you basically become a financer.
Yeah.
At that point.
0% interest.
0% interest financer. It worked to get us going, but it became a problem pretty quick. We saw, like most people call in August, September, October.
Yeah.
To get their tune and clean done. And so we amassed like 1,300 members. And then August, September, October came.
And all 1,300 wanted to be seen that day. And
so our revenues just plummeted. Mm-hmm. They were like, we were hitting $600K a month, and then boom, $300K. We were like, what? Like, and that's not even enough to cover our bills.
Yeah.
We were like, what? What did we do?
We made a mistake.
We made a mistake. So if you do go that route, fix it before you get to 1,300 members.
Yeah.
And so what we did to fix it is we just went to the $99 a year, and then we gave them a discounted tune and clean at $599. So we ended up making an extra $100 on every single member.
And you're not committed to performing that tune and clean for that customer. Yeah. And even it got to the point to where it was on their schedule.
Yeah.
Like now's not a good time, but their membership expires next week.
Yep.
And so you're either doing it outside of their membership period or you're fitting it in this week.
Yep.
And so you kind of got held hostage in a lot of times, and it was not ideal.
Yeah, and the way we priced those, the $49 a month, it was basically just break even on the tune and clean because we wanted to go in and upsell them on other stuff. But what we found is that the people who called us out for a free tune and clean, they weren't expecting to spend money, and they were actually pretty tough to upsell on stuff.
Yeah.
Versus the people who we charged $599 for a tune and clean, we could upsell them on another $599 or $600 thing or $800 thing, and they were happy to pay it.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had the people who just called us and every year for the $49 a month tune and clean.
They wanted to finance it.
And they didn't want anything else done ever. So those customers, we had the customer, but we weren't making any money off of them.
Yeah, they were a pain.
When we could have been serving a customer who we could make money off of.
Yep.
That was a fun one. So you could do it, and it's not necessarily a bad idea in the beginning to because it was good to advertise. We literally advertised free tune and clean.
Mm-hmm.
And people were like, what? Free tune and clean?
I'll take one.
Yeah, it's with our $49 a month membership. And they're like, oh, okay, I get it now.
Mm-hmm.
But it works.
I always clarified that it's a tune and clean at no additional charge, not a free tune and clean.
There you go.
And for whatever reason, like that changed the way they thought about it instead of them wondering what else can I get for free.
I wonder why.
I don't know.
That's strange. Very, very strange. So by selling somebody a membership and then giving them a discount, now they're paying you to receive these benefits and get this discount.
Mm-hmm.
When something goes wrong, who are they going to call?
They should be calling you.
They are going to call you.
Your sticker should be on it.
Yep.
Your logo.
Yep. You should be emailing them.
Mm-hmm.
You should be shooting them a text every now and then, calling them up and checking on them, make sure they don't need anything.
Yeah.
Yep. Agreed. Okay. We kind of talked about this fourth one earlier a little bit, but we only touched on like the look. So there's brand and then there's like awareness of your brand.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the things that helped explode my business was spending money on brand awareness.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just ringing even more true the more we get into this dude wash thing. Like we've been trying to like push leads from Facebook and leads from
Google.
pay-per-click, and like we just get garbage.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if it's like we run a certain type of business model, but those leads are so expensive.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're really expensive. They're harder to book and they're harder to close. And so rather than going and just buying all these leads that are hard to book and hard to close, we're shifting all of our budgets over to brand awareness.
Mm-hmm.
And this goes against what most marketing companies would tell you. They'll tell you 60% lead gen for your budget and 40% brand awareness. And we're like 100% brand awareness at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And we're not the first company to do that. Like Gettle was 100% brand awareness. They would do TV, radio, and billboards. That's
Mm-hmm.
how he grew his business. And maybe that's not the move for everybody. We do a really good job because we have in-house video content,
Mm-hmm.
and we can create. We have good lights and cameras and editors and things like that. So we have the ability to edit and make good content. So we do really well on brand awareness. What happens is the brand awareness customers get to know us, so they know, like, and trust us. And when they call us, they're so much more friendly.
Mm-hmm.
They're so much easier to book. They're so much easier to sell.
Yeah.
And they spend more money on us.
It's as if we've communicated in the past just through brand awareness.
Yes. And we have 100%.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to like be able to grab their attention and then make them aware of your business.
Mm-hmm.
I was watching the School of Hard Knocks guy, and he interviewed a guy that made a bunch of money on bath bombs, not bombs, bombs.
Oh.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And he had all these great little one-liners, but man, what did he say? He said, I just had it in my head and then I forgot it.
Dude.
This is how it goes.
I don't have it.
I know you don't have it because I didn't tell you yet. It was like, you got to entertain. I'll think of it later.
Sure.
I'm never going to get it.
Once this podcast is over.
Anyway, the whole idea was like, you have to entertain. Oh, you have to entertain to train. He had all these like things that rhymed for his marketing concepts. So his whole thing was like, he created entertaining content that then trained the customer about their business.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's kind of what we do. We create entertaining content because they're on social media to get entertained, or even our billboards are entertaining.
Yeah.
And then we train them on, oh, that's Dude Wash, and this is what they do.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty simple.
I can't tell you how many people have applied for jobs here because this seems like a super cool place to work.
Yeah, it's funny,
entertaining.
isn't it?
Yeah.
I've had so many business owners just from Pensacola reach out because they're like, dude, you're killing it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what do you mean? They're like, your marketing, it's everywhere. I'm like,
yep.
Yeah, that's the point.
Yeah.
That's
Marketing's
what marketing
supposed to
is.
be everywhere.
Yeah. It is supposed to be everywhere. So specifically like spending money on brand awareness. And I remember we had Tommy Mello come talk to the school group the other day. And one thing that he was talking about was how they know their brand awareness is working is they see their lead costs everywhere else go down.
Mm-hmm.
So like if I can get you to know, like, and trust me, and maybe I don't get to the point where you're like thinking, okay, plumbing, I got to call this guy. But they go to their phone and then they Google plumber, and you have a pay-per-click ad there, and they have an option between two people. and they know you a little bit from your social media,
Mm-hmm.
they're going to choose you.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I compare it to babysitters. You got, like, if you got young kids, you got your best friend's 16-year-old daughter that you know who's babysat your kids, has always done a great job. She's a sweetheart. You love her and her family to death. Versus you got this woman, you have no idea anything about her except that she is the world's greatest babysitter,
Mm-hmm.
like credentially. Who are you going to have babysit your kids? You're going to pick your daughter's or your friend's daughter every single time.
Yeah. The one that you think you can predict the outcome.
Yeah.
When I come home, this is what I expect to see.
Yeah.
Versus the one where you can't predict the outcome.
And it's just because you know her and you
Mm-hmm.
like her and you trust her.
Mm-hmm.
So you can build that up in your customer before they ever call you or before they ever search you.
Yeah.
And it works well. And you can do that through vehicle wraps. Vehicle wraps, your presence online, like the
Mm-hmm.
pictures you have on your Google business profile, your reviews. I mean, if you're like, you go read, like, it's actually pretty crazy. If you go read Dude Wash's reviews compared to anybody else's pressure wash, like any other pressure washing company in town, there's 2 companies with more reviews than us,
Mm-hmm.
but the reviews read incredibly different.
Sure.
When you read ours, we're catching up to them quick too. When you read ours, like, the customers are like ecstatic.
Mm-hmm.
They're like so excited about the service they just received.
Yeah.
When you go read the other guys, I think Tim might listen to this. I compared our reviews, Tim, if you're listening. It's, yeah, they did a good job. Oh, these guys were great. They showed up and they did a good job.
Mm-hmm.
But when you read ours, it's like, from this phone call to the scheduling, this was excellent.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I've never had a service this good.
Yeah.
That's what you want.
Yep.
Like, people read those reviews and they're like, oh, dang, this company's legit.
I got an idea of what I
Yep.
can expect for an outcome.
Yep. So you can take that service to a whole nother level, start getting reviews like that, and just build trust through your reviews even more.
Yeah.
And you can have less reviews than somebody and just still look way cooler
Mm-hmm.
and get more calls.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird. That and probably like community events, depending on where you live, that can be tough. Like in Alaska, we had one home show,
Mm-hmm.
and probably half of the town would come to the home show.
That was a big thing to do.
And it was a great event to be at. Here, we've tried going to home shows, and they're like, it's like they throw a home show 10 times a week, and nobody shows up.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, this is stupid. We pay $600 to be a part of this home show that nobody promoted and nobody knows about and nobody shows up.
Mm-hmm.
That was stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I don't know. We did the Mardi Gras parade here. That's probably a good one to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot
I
of
heard that was a bit of a
people show up for that.
pretty rowdy.
I still don't understand it.
What Mardi Gras is? I have no clue.
I don't, like, they drive a thing, they have a parade, there's floats, and
I
they
think
throw out
parades are lame to begin with.
I think they're dumb. And then you throw out beads.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get it. Why? Why beads?
I don't know what the celebration of Mardi Gras is. Like, I don't know.
I looked it up one time, but I don't remember.
It seems like an excuse to get, like Mardi Gras in New Orleans is
I hear that's actually pretty nuts.
Yeah, it's like an excuse to get drunk.
And it's not New Orleans.
Oh, it's not?
No, it's Nolans.
I don't belong. Obviously, I don't belong.
Nolans.
But yeah, the fact that it spreads everywhere and maybe just everywhere down here, but to have a Mardi Gras parade, like, for what? What's the purpose of it? I don't know.
I have no idea.
Maybe I'm just too dumb.
No comment. No comment. All right. Number 5. And this kind of ties into what we were already talking about, but the customer experience.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a good customer experience, it's going to help you with pretty much everything we already talked about. It's going to make you more profitable at the end of the day. Like, that's really what the whole thing is about.
Yeah.
Is just the experience that the customer has with your business. And it's little things.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's all the stuff we talked about, but then it's little things like answering the phone, showing up clean, clear communication,
The girl on the phone is nice and pleasant to talk to.
Yeah, the girl on the phone.
Ready and willing to help.
Yeah, not just don't answer the phone. Hello.
Mm-hmm.
Please.
Right.
Yeah. So bad.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
Mm-hmm.
Hello? It's like, come on. It should be. So I've heard multiple opinions on this, how you answer the phone. Some people say you should say, like, thank you for calling Dude Wash. This is, I'll say, Chloe, how can I help you?
Mm-hmm.
Some people say you should say, hey, thanks for calling Dude Wash. This is Chloe. And avoid the how should I help you?
Mm-hmm.
So that the customer has to say, oh, hey, Chloe. You can say, hi, what can I help you with?
Yeah.
So they say they have to say their name.
The pleasantries, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think it matters that much. Experience. A smooth experience from start to finish. Like all the touch points are this well-crafted experience for the customer where they reach out to your business and we respond promptly and we get them on the schedule at a time that works for them and we notify them again when their appointment is, a reminder of their appointment, and then they get a notification when the tech is coming out, who's coming out, what he looks like, what our branding looks like at that point, a little bit of background on the person. So now they're feeling really comfortable. The experience so far is really good. And then that same person comes out and he's on time, gets there when he says he's going to be there. And then he can communicate clearly with the customer and gets to know them and what they need and what they want, and then builds them relevant options based on what they want and what they need, and then helps them choose and craft an option that works for them, and then fulfills on that exactly like he communicated to the person that this was going to get fulfilled. That customer is like, flabbergasted.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen that often.
Right.
Especially in any sort of like construction world. They're stoked. And that's really what you want. Like that's the end goal.
Yeah.
All the stuff we talked about before creates that.
Yep.
And that's how you grow a good, big, profitable, well-run business.
Yeah.
In my opinion. I was going to say humble, but it's not so humble.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah. So kind of the idea is like the idea of this whole thing is like, hey, you might not need more leads. You might need to focus on your customers and learn how to make money with the customers you have. I think at Prospector, we saw on average 2 customers per tech per day.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so if you're blowing through like 6-7 calls every single day,
something's up.
Yes. You don't need more calls. You need to make money with the ones you got.
Yep.
You literally can't. And then like if you're running through 3 calls a day, but you're not hitting your profits, you could be undercharging, but it could just be that you're not doing all this stuff and making the most of every job. And you might even get more calls and it not solve your problem.
Yeah.
And before you do that, well, you're not going to have the money to get more calls until you learn how to make money on the customers that you have. That's all I got, man.
I think that's pretty thorough. I think that's enough for a lot of people to get started and give them enough homework to work on their own business.
I agree. If you guys want more help with this kind of stuff, go to wealthyplumber.com. There's a big button that says join our school group. It'll take you to our school group. It's $99. You get, I don't know how many hours of video content training, but it's like, it's organized step-by-step video modules walking you through literally every step of building a plumbing business to $5 million. And then we hold coaching calls in there as well. So you can come hop on a Zoom call, ask questions, get clarification. And then there's a group, like it's a group of like, I think we're at 880 some business owners in there. Dude, and the group is super cool. Like you could go in there and ask a question. Like we had water filtration questions yesterday where it was like, what water tests are you using? Dude, it was just this big, long thread of everybody like, this is what we do for water filtration. This is the system we use. This is how we test it. Here's how we estimate it. And
if you can't find a direction to go in, then you're
retarded.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so the value for $99 is ridiculous. I'm just going to say that. So I would join if I were you. If I own a plumbing business, electrical business, HVAC business, any home service business, it's literally the cheapest way to go learn to find or to go learn how to run a business, basically. Yep. And we did that purposefully. We could charge a lot more. We have in the past. And the reason we didn't is that our mission is to help as many business owners as possible, change the world one business at a time. So we have stayed consistent with doing that. Anyway, see you guys on the next one.
Yep.
Later, guys.